the background. Let me just turn off.
Oh, that's just you. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when Canada meets the United States and they shut down the borders, and we meet two people who don't abide by rules and borders and smash through those borders. You get this. My name's Ming Chen. I'm here with.
Like Northcott. Yay! Ming!
I am currently in Homedale, New Jersey, and Blake is near the Toronto area.
That's right. That's right. I am just outside in the GTA, we call it.
The GTA.
The Greater Toronto area. That's where I live. So it's cold as heck over here. It's probably actually the same temperature as around where you are, I'm imagining. It's around -2 today. We had some snow.
I was talking to another Canadian today. For any of you Degrassi Junior High fans out there, I was just texting with Stacy Mistisson, who played Caitlin in Degrassi. She's got something she's working on, and she was like, "Hey, will you contribute to it?" Nothing big, nothing big. But I grew up a huge fan of that show, even though I didn't live in Canada, and I I think it definitely helped shape my life for sure. And
yeah. A lot of people here love that show, watch the show, grew up watching it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, now I got Patrick Pat Mastriani, aka Joey Jeremiah, won't leave me alone. Keeps texting me at 3 a.m. It's like, Ming, what are you up to? I'm kidding. That's me. I'm texting him at 3 a.m. It's like, hey man, what are you up to? What are you up to? Yeah.
Nice. Well, everybody wants to party with Ming, so I get that.
I mean, but I learned my partying from Joey Jeremiah though. He was the ultimate party kid at Degrassi Junior High.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm about to make you and everybody jealous here. This is why we start. I wanted to start. I was like, hey, can we start at 5? Then I was like, can we start at 5:15? I was waiting for this.
Oh, pizza party.
There's in the building we're at here. There's a pizza joint.
That's amazing.
And my friend Adam, fellow podcaster, is he's the head pizza chef.
Oh,
so he made that.
What's on your pizza? What are your ideal pizza?
Well, so I love pepperoni. I love anything with meat on it. I like the one where they put everything on it. That's me.
Everything. Yeah.
I'll sort it out later. So here when your friend makes it, I'm just like, just make whatever. Put whatever you want on there.
Right.
Let's make whatever. So he surprised me. This one is a chicken. He said he found the perfect breaded chicken cutlet earlier today. That was just waiting for a moment, and that moment came. I stepped up and I ordered that pizza.
Nice.
So here it is. So yeah, I have it right next to me.
I've been going through like homemade making pizza from scratch kind of thing with the kids, where we're doing like a lot of homemade pizza.
Do you do the dough too?
You know what? I don't do the dough.
No, don't do the dough.
But I do roll it out. I don't have time for that. But
yeah, the dough is literally like $1.50 or something.
Yeah, you can buy like frozen balls of dough or whatever. So I do that, and then I'm into hot banana peppers.
Oh yeah,
and goat cheese and like pepperoni, just stuff like that. And
this is why we're friends.
Yeah, that's why.
This is why we're friends.
We love the spice, Ming. We got to have a little spice in there. That's so funny. But actually, I saw something. Speaking of, nostalgia and things that we liked from when we grew up, I saw that the new Secret Stash comic book store is now open. It looks amazing.
It is. You need to come down when they reopen the borders. Mike Zapsik has taken over as the manager, so that means, me and Mike are friends, right? So that means, maybe I could exact some influence on maybe some things that I want to see there, because I've never had any influence over there. I was just they just made fun of me over there, but I think
some influence in there.
I think more, creator visits, more creator signings, more, creator panels at the store would make it a better experience there. Yeah. So if you ever came down,
I would love to go. I'm dying to go. I'm definitely going to do it. Now I don't know how far is this from. I don't know like the map for that area. Like, is it really far from where you were before, or how far is it from
Oh
where you
no, it literally moved 1 block south.
Oh, okay, that's really close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, from what I heard, the landlord was not being accommodating to the current worldwide situation, shall we
Okay.
say?
So is that another thing you have going there? You have like masks, I guess, are
Oh
encouraged.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
they're required.
right.
Yeah,
Good.
distancing. I think they can only let like 11 to 15 people in the store at the time at a time. So,
Okay. Yeah.
um, and yeah, I think they just announced yesterday. So they had the opening, but the official grand opening I think is next weekend. I think Kevin and Jay are coming down,
Oh, wow.
and it's a ticketed event. You got to get a ticket to because of all the distancing and everything. So if
Right.
you're watching this and you got a ticket, consider yourself lucky. Like I didn't even get a ticket. I
What?
I'm I have to talk to Mike. I was like, hey, like can we is scalping? Can people scalp tickets?
Yeah.
Like, can I go on to StubHub and get a secret stash? Because I don't have one, and yeah, they're gonna be very strict at the door. I don't know who's gonna be guarding it. Like,
Maybe
they'll
there'll
get a
be
guy,
like a bouncer getting people thrown out. You never know.
right? Yeah, they'll get a guy looks like Andre the Giant. They'll hire Chris Jericho to come down and bounce. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah,
That's amazing. So the other thing I saw on your Facebook page, which I was
yeah.
dying to ask you about, and I was waiting until we did our next podcast, was I saw that you officiated Mike Zapsik and his wife on their like 20-year renewal of vows. So tell
I
me about this.
absolutely did. So, the store opened last Monday. A couple of days beforehand, Mike was like, "Hey," he texted me late on a Thursday night, and he's like, "Hey, what do you? My wife and I want to renew our vows at the new store in front of the Buddy Christ, and I'm an ordained minister through the Universal Life Church.
You are an ordained minister.
I am.
Wow.
Yeah,
There's something I did not know about you, Ming.
yeah. Well, here's the thing: to get ordained, you literally hop on the internet. You like Northcott can be
Could
an ordained minister within 2 minutes for free. Meaning you can legally perform marriages.
this is something I might have to do because that sounds super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you would be a great officiant, and I love it. It's open to everybody. I don't even know if there's an age limit, but um,
Wow.
so after you get ordained on the online, they send you a little email certificate saying congratulations, welcome to the brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever the faith, as you will. But if you want the real printed certificate and the card, and there's like a pass, there's a parking pass, then you buy the clergy package, which is about
Oh,
$35. If you get ordained, you got to get the clergy package.
yeah.
Just get it. It makes no sense not to get it. So I got the
That's right.
clergy package.
Go the whole way. If you're gonna
Yeah.
go in, I mean,
So I performed an actual legal marriage in the Atlanta area, not in May 2019.
okay.
For my friends Emma and Doug. They're big geeks, and while the ceremony wasn't exclusively a geek themed wedding,
Right.
there were geek elements. Like the 4-piece orchestra played like the Game of Thrones theme and
Oh,
things like that. They did have their wedding on May the 4th. That was specific. So I try to be as reverent as possible. I threw in a lot of geek references in the ceremony, and I think everybody appreciated it.
oh, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was an event to remember
Yeah.
and you made
Oh,
this special day so much better, I'm
yeah.
sure.
So Mike hits me up on a Thursday night. It's like, hey, I want to renew my vows. I'm like, when? In a week, 2 weeks, a month? He's like, no, Saturday. I'm like, okay. I have I have I have a couple extra hours I could probably squeeze in, and let's live stream it. And so if you go onto YouTube or Facebook, you can watch
Okay.
that vow renewal. It's only about 15 minutes.
Right.
And I didn't even know if they thought I was going to take it seriously or not, but I took it pretty seriously because
Oh,
it's
yeah. I've got to check this out. I'm
yeah.
definitely watching that.
Yeah, but if you get ordained, we could perform dual ceremonies. We could,
Wow.
we could tag team on and off.
That sounds
Um,
incredible. I like
Male,
this
female
idea.
officiant. I think it'd be a great dynamic.
Definitely.
So, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if anybody's watching or listening right now, we will. If you want to get married or have your vows renewed at the stash, we can make it happen. There, wedding packages, wedding available now. Mike is also ordained.
Okay.
Kevin is ordained. Brian Johnson is ordained. I think the only one not ordained is Walt Flanagan. So
That sounds incredible to me.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. What a great
Love
place to
it.
get married. If I were to do it all over again, sure, why not?
Yeah, right?
In
Make it
front of
fun.
the actual Buddy Christ screen used movie prop from
Yeah.
Dogman.
I was gonna ask that if the Buddy Christ had moved to the new store with you, or if he has a new spot.
He has a new spot, and he did move over to the new store. I think the Buddy Christ only stands maybe 5. He's about as tall as I am, maybe 5 feet. Maybe I'm 5'4", so I might be a little taller. But it is a pretty cool piece of sculpture, and
Yeah,
yeah,
iconic.
so anybody can go see. If you go to the store, they built a whole. So there's a church pew and a kneeler. Like it's a whole setup. It's
Wow.
pretty. It's pretty elaborate. It was something that Kevin kind of orchestrated in his
Right.
head, and it happened
Well,
for
he made it
sure.
happen. That's
Yeah, but
incredible. Yeah, I definitely want to come. That sounds amazing.
you're definitely invited
Oh, we're gonna
anytime.
make this happen. As soon as things open up, I think everyone is gonna be just gung ho to go travel and head off somewhere. And I think it's gonna be like an explosion of traveling around the world because
Oh,
everyone needs,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
Front of mind every day. So yeah.
yeah. And I saw that you had some big news as well. You've been on fire lately.
I have news. Well, okay, so yesterday, my second installment of Synapse came out for Heavy Metal magazine, where I'm
Like,
writing a cyberpunk series, which,
congratulations.
thank you, which is exciting. And so it's in issue 304, if anyone is looking for it. And I'm working with an incredible team. Giuseppe Cafaro is the artist, and Brian Valenza is the colorist,
So cool.
and it looks amazing. So I'm really happy with how it's all turned out. And yeah, I wasn't able to get my hands on a copy yesterday. Unfortunately, a lot of the stores here in Canada are still quite shut down due to
Right.
COVID. Yeah,
So
so
even supply is hard to get.
it is. And
Like periodicals are hard to get.
they are. And I think that it's affecting the border shutdown is also affecting our distribution here because our border to the US is still closed. So
Yeah.
it's trickier. But it is out there, so people can find it if they're, or put it on your list to have it on your pull list or whatever. But yeah, so that came out yesterday, and I also had the release of one of my novels within the North Valley Grimoire universe, which is the Omega artifact that went for ebook. I was giving it away for promotion for ebook and for audiobook, but now it's available on Amazon if anyone would like to check it out. It's called the Omega artifact. So I do have some more announcements coming. There's one on the 15th of March, and then there's another one at the end of March, but those I can't talk about yet.
Yeah,
So they'll have to be saved for our next podcast.
I can't wait. So you've been quite busy then.
I'm busy, yes.
Okay.
I'm keeping busy. I feel like that's just the way it goes nowadays. I don't know, everything is just busy, but I know you are busy all over the place too, Ming.
I mean, I just been here just podcasting like a madman,
Yeah.
and I'm loving it. So originally we were gonna go at 3 o'clock today, and I got a call here. The studio is located within a whole like I can't even describe it. If you've seen photos, it looks it's a whole complex. Technically, it's called the Metro Burb, so it's office space, tech spaces, food, coffee, retail, indoor golf simulators. There's ice cream here. Like there's
So
everything.
you never really need to leave. You can live inside the building.
Yeah, I really don't. And now there's podcasting here, which tickles me to no end that we're able
Yes.
to provide that. But I was the there's a design studio here. They designed the whole building, and the head of design was like, "Hey, we've got these two girls coming in. They're starting a podcast. They wanted to interview us, but they said they were just going to record the audio on their laptop. We want to surprise them. Can you bring some gear over, and we'll make it professional and surprise them when they get here?" I'm like, I'm like, absolutely. And we're like, when is it? They're like, well, can you come down at 3:30? I'm like, oh man, let me see, if I can shift a couple things around. And
That's so amazing. You probably made their entire week doing that.
that's what I'm thinking. So the design firm there, it's a female run design firm. The the two ladies there, Paola and Brooke, are amazing. Paola was the main reason why I'm in this space, beautiful space right now. And we have, I feel like we have the same kind of design sensibilities and taste. But so I was all too happy to help out, and
That's amazing.
yeah, it was cool. So I set up all the gear, and yeah, when those girls came in around the corner, it was I hopefully their minds were blown. I
Yes.
think, but I think you're right. I think we may have made their year. So
I
that's
think you did. That is such a nice, sweet thing to do. And you are an incredible person. So I
oh
am, no doubt that they're going to be looking up to you probably for a long time to say thank you for helping start our careers. And podcasting is all thanks to Ming Chen,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I'm sure you exact that same influence as well. I don't know if you do you talk to a lot of kids and aspiring writers.
Kids. Well, I guess a lot of it might be through when they're reading the comics or the
Sure,
novels that I'm writing. Not a lot of children. The things I write are a little bit more like
sure.
youth, I would say, between teen and young adult area. But I would love to get more into dealing with helping kids. We did have arena mode is being taught though in the state of Florida, and so that was my big series of novels. And I got one of the most impressive things that touched me the most that I received was one of the teachers actually ran a high school course on my books, and then made, one of the projects that the kids could do was to write a paper about how, the characters were influencing them or what have you. And they sent me copies of all of the kids' reports from the class so that I could see them, what they thought about everything. And oh my gosh, incredible. These were probably kids who were around 14, 15. And that I loved more than anything. That was incredible.
That's so cool.
Yeah, really
That's
neat.
awesome. Like I was just a goof off when I was 14, 15. So
Well, I think a lot of kids goof off, but they still in school. I mean, giving the option to do something that kind of interests you. I think that the teachers are really given the credit there, right? Because what
yeah,
an amazing teacher to go out and find kind of new stuff that's going to interest their kids, that all of their students. I love that. So,
yeah.
yeah,
I remember every so often I would read something. I'm like, well, this is it inspired me. Um,
right.
and then I didn't, I would read comics. I didn't really read books for a while. And then I remember I got that feeling back when I read Ready Player One. And
Yeah.
I got that feeling, like reading books under the covers when I was a kid,
Yes.
and trying and hoping that my mom wouldn't
Catch you.
like catch me and tell me to go back to bed. I was like, I don't want to sleep. I want to keep reading this book. It's so good.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. When
That's cool.
people, when you get feedback like that, I get people asking me all the time questions about characters I've written, and the fact that they still remember them and want to talk about them. It's such a rewarding feeling as a writer. So I enjoy that a lot.
And
So actually,
not for nothing, but as stated by Amazon, the Arena Mode Saga has over 500 5-star reviews across Amazon and Goodreads, and is Kickstarter's number one selling science fiction series of all time. I'm just saying.
you're just
I'm just
saying.
saying.
Thanks.
I'm
Well,
just
thanks
saying.
for the shout out there. That's amazing.
Oh, of course.
And actually, the news that I have coming is going to be related to arena mode. So stay
Oh,
tuned for that. And I'm very excited to share all that with you guys.
yeah. Start buy the saga, everybody. Get caught up. You're gonna want to get caught up. That's
Yeah,
all I'm saying.
we'll give a little teaser here. You get caught up before I can't say anything more. I'm terrible at keeping secrets, so don't ask me anything else. But
Yeah. So yeah,
one thing we were
that's awesome though. That's
oh,
I love seeing my friends kick ass. That's all there is to it. So
you're amazing.
I I try to be, but you're amazing as well. So we're both amazing.
We're both amazing.
Yeah,
Team,
everybody wins.
we win-win situation here.
Yeah.
Now, one thing we were going to talk about today
Yes.
was we had mentioned we were texting, and we were talking about how there's a million podcasts out right now that
Hmm.
are all dedicated to the Mandalorian, and WandaVision. But there's so many other great shows out that people are now watching when they're at home, right? So things that aren't Disney related.
Right.
So I thought, why don't we come up with a couple of shows that we were binging in 2020 that we wanted to like give a little shout out to or talk about, and then
Yes.
maybe people might who haven't seen them might go and decide to watch. So
Yes.
I came up with a couple. I think you mentioned you had a couple,
I
so maybe
did.
you could just you know
I
talk
did.
about
Kick
them.
it off, my friend. What have you been watching?
Okay, so the one that I just saw, which really blew me away, was called The Wilds. I don't know how popular all these things are, especially because some of these shows that I get on different networks and streaming services in Canada, I don't know if they're available in the States or on what you're able to watch them. I saw it in Canada on Amazon Prime. So it's basically a bunch of teenage girls who are all from like radically different backgrounds. They're stranded on this remote island and they kind of become, they're unaware that they're like subjects that are being tested for some social experiment. So it's kind of gives you that lost vibe to it,
Right. That's cool.
but the writing is incredible. The script writing on this just blew me away. The main writer is a woman named Sarah Stryker,
Yes.
and I hope I'm saying her name right. But she did such an incredible job with these characters. They feel so real, and you go through all these emotions with them. It's a real kind of coming of age story too. These girls really evolve while they're on this island. There's flashback scenes that are done really well. So I really enjoyed these characters.
This one released on December 11th, so it's fairly new.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. It's
And
very
it's available on Amazon Prime Video. So that
okay.
if you're enjoying free 2-day shipping, head over to the Prime Video app or on
Right.
your laptop or your iPad and The Wilds. Okay, I'm gonna put that one on there for sure.
Yeah, like check it out. There's an amazing, like the performances of the girls too are really well done. There's a one actress named Helena Howard, and she plays the character Nora, and she did such an incredible job. The girl who played Shelby, oh my gosh, they just blew me away. Really incredible.
Yeah, and it looks like most of these actresses, not huge resumes, so they're
No, they
fairly
were like
unknown.
it
But
was kind of an off. I just was chatting with someone. They said, "Check this out." I just saw it. It's great, and I'm like, "Okay." I was looking for a new series, and I just got sucked right into it. I think it's been renewed for second season is on the way as well, if I remember correctly.
I mean, with a vote of confidence like that from you, yeah. So, I mean, it's first season's 10 episodes, so you
Right,
can't
right.
you can't beat that. So that's cool.
Yeah, that was really well done. I like that.
That's
Okay,
amazing.
you go.
So the show I've been watching a lot of actually takes place in your town, my friend.
Ooh.
Set in your neighborhood. It is a little show called Kim's Convenience, and I don't know if you're
Oh,
aware of that,
okay.
but it's about a Korean-run convenience store located in Toronto. It I I don't know much about the production. It's on Netflix now, but
Right.
I mean, it obviously started up in Canada. I don't know if it was like a CBC show
Okay.
or where it came from. Um, but it stars Simu Liu, who you'll be seeing soon as Chang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu. Um, yeah, and that's why I started watching it.
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw he got cast. I was like, all right, I want to see where they found this kid, and I did, and it's pretty awesome. He's not super old, but the old man who runs the convenience store. You
Right.
may recognize him from The Mandalorian. He's one of the X-wing pilots.
Okay.
He was he was the funny Korean one.
I have heard of this Kim's Convenience
Yeah,
being something on the air, and I know I've heard people talking about it, like in because things that film in Toronto, we end up hearing a lot more about in our sort of local news.
sure.
Like where I am located is actually about half an hour out of the city, so I'm very close to where they actually filmed the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Umbrella Academy. It was like right down the road from me, which is crazy. So when you're watching a show too, and you know all the locations, and you're like, oh, I know exactly where this is. It makes it feel weird, like you're inside the universe, sort of.
Right.
Oh, there, yeah, okay, there, so you can see.
Yeah. So there's if you look on the top right there, yeah, I mean
Right.
that dude's about to blow up the Marvel universe soon as
Wow,
Shang-Chi the Master of Kung Fu. And then
amazing.
the gentleman on the bottom left, yeah, he was one of the he was one of the more comical X-wing pilots from the Mandalorian.
Now, give
Um,
me it. What is the gist of it? Is it about like a family who's running like an actual store?
yeah,
Is
it's
that
a Korean family who runs a Korean owned convenience store in Toronto. So they all have the Canadian accents and
okay?
they make Canadian references. So,
I was
but
gonna say, do they know? Do we know it's supposed to be Toronto? Because then
yeah,
there'd be a lot of like funny.
I think you see Toronto landmarks and
Okay, awesome.
but as a fellow Asian, it's it's just the overbearing Asian parents and and they're immigrants, so you have that kind of comedy in there as well. But it's very very accurately portrayed, I feel. So,
Okay, great.
um,
Well, I'll check it out
and
there for sure.
all 4 seasons are on Netflix right now, and
Oh
I
wow, it's got
believe the fifth season is running now, but it may be only in Canada. I gotta find this out because I have no idea where things air anymore.
yeah, I know. It's confusing. Sometimes you see something and then it's from another service, but it just showed up all of a sudden on something else, and you're like, where was this from?
Right.
Okay, that happened to me. So my next one I'm gonna go into, I feel
Okay.
really late to the party on this
Okay.
because people were telling me for months and months, you have to watch this show. And I was into so many other things and I didn't have time. And then I finally checked it out and I'm like, I've been literally missing out on this. It's Cobra Kai.
Oh
Cobra
man.
Kai. I love it. I love it. It's hilarious. Oh my gosh. For anyone who grew up, right, watching the Karate Kid, like all the nostalgia comes flooding back. It's just hilarious. I love
I
it.
imagine that was you.
That's me. Yes. And it has so much heart to it. And there's so many like um, throwbacks obviously to the original, but like having it, it's just like balls to the walls, funny, hilarious scenes. And I find myself laughing out loud so many times when I'm watching it.
They did such a great job, I think, of recapturing the tone of the movie, but also, I mean, there are obviously many many callbacks
Right.
to the original movies and the trilogy, and but they bring it into 2020 and 2021. It's yeah, they did such a great job. The three creators are actually from New Jersey.
Oh, really?
One of them actually went to a local high school here, and
Wow.
before the first season aired, we got to interview him on a
Oh,
podcast. So, and we're
I'm
trying to get him back, but now he's too busy.
he's writing the next season. He doesn't have time for interviews, you know?
Yeah, but I wanted to tell him that like we believed in you when you were on YouTube Red, and not a lot of people saw it because it was
Right,
hard to watch, and we knew, like, we didn't know it was going to go to Netflix. We were hoping maybe it would
right,
be seen wider. And that first season was on YouTube Red. I was trying to tell everybody. I'm like, just subscribe to it, watch them all, and then cancel it. Like, whatever you have to do, watch the show. And it was tough. It's
right.
the more steps you have to make people take to do something, the harder it's going to be for them to watch something. And yeah,
But I
and
did find it was interesting the transition from the YouTube Red to Netflix. Like you could tell that it was a little bit different in tone, like, when they were transitioning from what is it, season 2 to 3.
yeah,
But it's still, sorry, dill. I'm making up new words. It still felt, like part of the Cobra Kai and the
yep,
universe, and the characters. A lot of them, felt the same. So I thought they did a pretty good job doing that.
yeah. And if you're a fan of nostalgia, which who isn't? They do some very 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 well done callbacks, I feel.
Yeah,
But more importantly, in this age where they're trying to reboot everything and remake everything, you don't. This is how you do it.
yeah,
You don't have to remake it.
yeah,
There's no reason to remake Karate Kid. All the actors are still alive. The way you do it is you continue the story, bring back that um, everybody that you know and love still, and up. What are they up to now? And
yeah.
how are they interacting? How did the events from the original movie affect them years
Exactly.
later? So our friend CJ Cullen, film expert, fellow podcaster, season 3 is actually made from YouTube money. It was not on Netflix
Yeah.
yet.
See, I didn't know
Interesting.
that. That's interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. So CJ and I were the ones who interviewed Josh Held, who was one of the creators of Cobra Kai
Oh,
and
okay.
a local boy.
And
Thank
I
you,
saw
CJ
that
Cullen,
Will Smith was attached to it or something as an executive.
executive producer. Yeah,
That's so crazy. That's like interesting because I wonder if he's part of that feeling of nostalgic, because
I
he probably grew up watching it too. And
I imagine he would, and yeah, I mean, what's the Fresh Prince up to in 2021?
right,
Let's find out.
let's get him on that. I'm sure he's got bigger projects that he wants to, like, investigate now. But it's nice that that was part of the production team. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think what you said is like really the key element is like when they're trying to instead of like rebooting it or whatever, they're really trying to incorporate like these actual characters. Like what, how does this previous history impact them, and what are they doing now?
Yeah.
To
I
kind of,
like this.
you know,
I don't really like remakes. I'm like the actor, especially if the original actors are still around,
yeah,
just update it. Yeah, they're older. Great. What are they doing 20, 30
right,
years later? I don't want to see. I don't want to see new actors in the same role.
right.
It just. To me, it makes no sense.
Well, credit to the writing team too. They still show like, you know, some of the characters are going through the same either mistakes, they're making the same mistakes, or they're,
Yep.
you know, having problems with their own children that are now making their mistakes again, right? So it's like this hilarious kind of little world they live in just continues with these dramas between the dojos and stuff. So I just thought it was really, I actually loved it so much. I went and bought a t-shirt, which I probably should have worn tonight. I have a Cobra Kai t-shirt. So I
That's
was like, this is so
awesome.
amazing. I love it.
That's awesome. CJ says Will Smith owned the rights because his son was in the reboot under his company.
Oh, I did not
Will
know that.
Smith is a smart guy, man. I was like, all right, well, here we're gonna redo Karate Kid.
Yeah.
All right, put my son in it, and I'm gonna buy the rights too. They're like, well, you're Will Smith. Here, give us some money, and we'll give you the rights. And then I'm betting even Will Smith didn't know that it would be coming back years later. So
No, probably not.
smart guy, man.
Smart.
Smart guy. I and you know for well, yeah, I would love to see a Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I think they had a reunion or something, or if they got back together. But I would be up for a updated series
Yeah,
for
me too.
sure.
That'd be hilarious. I'd go for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, do you have any other shows you were thinking
I
about?
do. I was I think I was watching like AMC one night. Former home of comic book men, or still, they still
Yes.
still not no current episodes, but we're still there. And the movie Fargo came on. Great movie. Coen Brothers, Francis McDormand, William H Macy, and that's one of those movies where if you tune in the middle, you can't help but watch it till the end.
Right.
And then I remember I was like, wait a minute, didn't they turn this into a TV show on FX?
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, they did. And the first season starred Billy Bob Thornton, and I remember hearing about it, but I didn't. I never. I
You
just
didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. Didn't I don't know why I didn't watch it. It just never. Here's the artwork here.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know why. I just nothing really stood out about it. But so I started watching the first season, and it's amazing.
really?
It's amazing. There are 4 seasons, and they take place in different time periods mostly around the Fargo, North Dakota area, and they're subtle references to the movies, but they don't. And it takes place in the same universe, but
Okay.
different characters.
I was gonna say, are they the same characters from the movie, or
Now
is it
different characters, but there are subtle callbacks to some of them, and they did such a great job. I cannot recommend this series enough, and it's on FX, so they're allowed to push the envelope a little
a
more in
little bit
terms of
more? Right?
violence and language and situations. And
That's interesting.
yeah, they did. Yeah, I think each season is 10 episodes, so it's not a super long commitment. And
Well, it must be popular if it's gotten already renewed for 4 seasons.
yeah, fourth season stars Chris Rock, who you don't see in a lot of dramatic roles.
Right.
There's some comedy sprinkled in, of course, but he's a great actor though.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen this show, so I can't say anything about it, but it sounds really good. I'll have to check
Yeah,
it out.
just Chris Rock, my Dogma co-star.
Yes.
If I'm gonna brag, yeah, he's a pretty good dramatic actor for sure. So, um, big ups to Fargo and FX. And real quick, speaking of FX, I hear they have begun production on the Why the Last Man TV series, which will be on FX in, I imagine, 2022.
Wow.
which has gone kind of through a long road to
Hmm.
be made into, a live action property. Uh, they're trying to make it a trilogy of movies starring Shia LaBeouf as
Okay.
Yorick, and off the bat, I was like, no. So thankfully that didn't work out. I believe they back in 2018 they shot a pilot episode that wasn't that great, but now they're going full steam ahead on
Good.
an extended Why the Last Man TV series, and I think it works better as a TV series.
Right.
I they're theorizing that each episode might correlate to each issue of the comic book, which would be
Wow.
kind of cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
It's interesting to see too, like how things go through development and, all the processes that it takes to get something off the ground. And just this past year, I've been, help doing a lot more in my screenwriting career. So I have a new appreciation for every show that I watch because I think, holy crap, like how many hours went into developing this series and then
yeah,
getting it off the ground. That's why when you said it had, 4 seasons or whatever already behind it, it's got a huge team of supporters there. And sometimes fan support is enough too to launch it forward, right? So that's incredible.
yeah. And then the number of shows that don't make it is
Yeah.
astronomical. So um, yeah, it's hard to create good stuff, and even if you do create good stuff, it's hard to keep it going.
Right.
AKA see Firefly.
Yeah. Firefly is so good.
I firmly believe Firefly will be back.
Yeah.
I
At some
firmly
point.
believe that everybody will just be like, you know what, let's do it. It ended way too early. I believe pretty much everyone's still around,
Hmm.
and I think we will see the Serenity fly again for sure.
I think there's enough fan support behind it. I
Oh
agree with
yeah,
you. And there are so many great shows. And then when you see like how they can take off and get fan support, it's fun because then there's other people involved too that you can kind of connect with over it. Um, but I think you're right about that.
yeah. I've always said that the fact that Comic Book Man got more seasons than Firefly is absolutely criminal. Like that
But
is
you guys are amazing. Of course you
no, but we're no Firefly. I mean, come on, that's a great series. But you know what? Firefly did get the movie. Like we haven't gotten
yeah,
the movie yet, so
that's coming. That's coming, Ming. You're gonna have a chance. Don't
Comic
worry.
Book Men, the movie.
The movie is happening.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tell you my last one here
Okay.
that I really enjoyed was kind of like an indie hit, and I know other people have seen it as well, but I hadn't heard about it until maybe a month ago. It's called The Flight Attendant, and it stars Kaylee Coco. I think I'm saying her name right,
Yeah.
and it's on HBO Max. So I had been watching The Undoing, which is another HBO series that I really liked, and then I heard about the flight attendant, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this sounds so quirky." It's like a dark comedy, which I find I'm drawn to those sometimes, but there's not that many that are really well done. This one is really well done, and it has a ton of like interesting flashback sequences that kind of flesh out the story through flashbacks because she is, kind of turned upside down after she wakes up in a hotel room with this dead man next to her. She has no memory of what happened. So it's the whole series kind of unravels that. So I don't know. Have you seen this one yet?
I've only seen ads for this,
Okay.
and the ad campaign was great. I was like, this looks cool. I would watch this. I haven't gotten to it yet,
Yeah.
but I will now. And the dead waking up next to a dead man in a hotel room, that's my con nightmare.
Yes.
Like a Comic Con nightmare.
Exactly. And I think she's in like Thailand or something when it happened.
Oh.
She's a flight attendant, so she's
Mhm.
flying all around the world, and it's kind of interesting to see the different locations. But her best friend is played by Rosie Perez, who I haven't seen in freaking forever. And I was like,
No,
oh
I miss
my
her.
gosh, is this Rosie Perez?
I
Like,
miss
wow.
her high pitched, fast talking sass. Yes.
Yeah, she's still sassy, but
Yeah.
like, she's got a different edge to her in this.
Okay.
But I just loved the performances. I thought it was really well done. There's a lot of twists and turns, and I believe it's also been renewed for a second season. So
Awesome.
yeah, so that's another one you could check out if you have HBO or HBO Max or whatever.
I do, or more accurately, I've stolen Mike Zapsik's password. So
That works too.
he uses the same password for every streaming service.
Oh,
So why shouldn't I take advantage of that?
exactly.
Thing.
We can share the wealth. Shared.
Yeah, for sure. So you had brought up you wanted to. Did you want to talk about obscure, like maybe not so well known TV series?
Sure, if you know any that are, yeah, more obscure.
Did
Lay it
you
on.
because I think or I think you had said something like, "Hey, what do, what do you know about TV series that flew under the radar?" So I took that as maybe some TV shows that we may have watched that maybe didn't last so long that maybe other people didn't know about.
Yeah, sure.
And mine are old, but I looked up one of them that I had seen in the early '80s that aired on the at the time it was the fledgling Fox network. I
Okay.
think this is when they were trying to get the the Simpsons were kind of off the ground, and they were looking for another hit or something. And I'm
Okay. So
trying
you're
to
going way back here. Like, hit me with this. Yeah. I don't know if I would
yeah. So
this
I'm
or not.
looking up. Trying to look up the Wikipedia for this. I I read it. I was reading it today. There was so there's a show called Second Chance, and it aired from September 26th to November 28th, 1987.
Oh, wow.
So that's a pretty short run.
Short. That's like too much. Ooh.
But the interesting thing is, it took a break, then it came back from January 16th to May 14th under another name, some of the same characters, but not all of them. So this is a show called Second Chance, which um, involved a older man. He gets into a car accident. He dies. He
Okay.
goes up to St. Peter. St. Peter says, "Listen, you're too good for hell, but you're not quite enough good enough to get into heaven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you back to the past." He dies in like 2011.
Okay.
He gets sent back to 1987 to go and hang out with his younger self and try to steer him toward a more positive direction so that he can get into heaven later. Um, so it stars a guy named Keel Martin, who I think was on Hill Street Blues. I believe, unfortunately, he passed away at the young age of 46 of cancer, so we
Oh,
don't know much about him after. But his younger self is played by Matthew Perry, who we all know and love from
oh,
Friends.
from Friends, right?
Yeah. But I love this show because it kind of dealt with time travel and meeting your future self, which
Right.
in '87, the only time I'd seen anything like that was in Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, right?
Yeah. Um, so so yeah, he gets thrown back into his to hang out with his past self. His mom is looking for a boarder in an empty room above the garage, and
Right.
that's how he gets into the house. And he befriends his younger self and tries to steer him toward a more positive direction. It was maybe a little too ahead of its time, I guess, and maybe not so well done, because that plot line only lasted 2 months.
Right.
And so initially when it aired, it was called Second Chance. When they brought it back 2 months later, they retitled it Boys Will Be Boys. They got rid of the future self element, and it just ended up being Matthew Perry and his wacky friends going on adventures. And I was like, well, you just ripped out the heart of the show.
Right.
Why
Why? I wonder.
was
That's what
America
people were
not
thinking.
ready for a time traveling guy trying to, like a maybe it was basically It's a Wonderful Life, but instead of Clarence the Angel, it's your future self
Right.
trying to steer you. I think it's such a great plot though.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird too how they did TV back then, I guess, where they would test it out, try something, take it off the air. We're gonna just change it all and bring it back in a couple months and see if that sticks. I don't really see them doing that very often now. But
Yeah,
that's
and I don't know if I've never met anybody who remembers the show.
no,
But Wikipedia says it existed, so I didn't make it up.
no, I believe you. I believe you, especially if Matthew Perry was in it. I mean,
Right.
it must have been something on his resume to help him get the Friends gig, you'd assume. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I mean they can all be hits, but I have not seen this since '87, so I wonder if it's on YouTube somewhere, if anybody ripped it onto,
Maybe.
can I buy a pirate copies of Second Chances
Maybe.
slash Boys Will Be Boys? Like, what a weird, yeah. And I'm wondering, did they shoot all the episodes already? In the second iteration, they just edited it to
Right.
not just edit characters out. I don't know. Very weird.
That's
Very
interesting.
weird.
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
They definitely do things differently now, I'm sure, than they did back then. I do remember like having hiatuses and they'd come back with kind of like different characters in the show and the cast.
Yeah.
Be like, I don't remember that person, but not
Yeah, but they totally revamped the whole plot of the
yeah,
show, but kept some of the same characters, and they kept the set too. So
right.
I guess at the time, as Fox was like, "Well, we'll try anything because we don't. All we have is The Simpsons right now." And
Right.
they may have had Married with Children, and that was it. But yes, hello, Rocky Mountain High. Can you see the chat? Yes, we see you. How's it going? What's up, dudes?
What's up, dudes?
Dudes.
I like being called dude.
Blake Northcott is not a dude, my friend.
Ah,
He is
I get
anything
called, my
but.
son called me a dude today. He was like, dude.
Oh, that's different though. That's like when you see something cool, like
Yeah.
dude. Or if you're trying to call someone out, like, dude, what the hey, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to
CJ
use
Cullen is
that.
found
I
a
still
YouTube
use
link. I guess I'm gonna have to check this out later. So there
yeah.
might be an episode on YouTube. If you get really, really bored tonight, Blake, you can
Yeah.
go
I'll
check
be
out
doing
Second Chances. Yeah. The other show aired on ABC from September 18th to 1992 to February 26th, 1993. So as you can see, I get very attached to these shows that last like not even like 4 months.
4 months. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a show called Camp Wilder, and it involved a older sister, with I think two younger brothers. Their parents have passed away, so she's responsible for them, and she's basically opened up her house to all their wacky friends,
Oh wow.
aka they nickname it Camp Wilder, I guess, and wacky things
And Sue.
ensue. Now, what's notable about this show is the cast. A lot of the cast went on to do really great things. So the notable cast include Jerry O'Connell, who you might remember from Jerry Maguire and Sliders. I
I
believe that
think he's married to Rebecca Romaine now.
he might be. Also stars Tina Majorino, who I last remember from Napoleon Dynamite, but
Okay.
I think she's done a bunch of other stuff that I may or may not have seen. Jay Moore, who you may have seen in the TV show Action. He was in the movie Go.
Was he in
Uh,
Jerry Maguire?
he was also in Jerry Maguire's Bob Falfa. Yes, he was
Yes.
also in Jerry Maguire.
I just
Uh,
watched Jerry Maguire, so I remember that.
Give me the money. Show me
Give
the,
me the money.
give me the money. Also stars Hilary Swank,
Oh,
Oscar
wow.
winner, Million Dollar Babies, Hilary Swank. And also stars a young Jared Leto.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
A lot of stars in that.
yeah. And I think I really like this show because it just seemed like a bunch of kids close to my age with no rules, I guess,
Right.
and just kind of hanging out. And um, I think that was kind of the point of this show was it was a bunch of kids going over to one person's house, and the person in charge was so laid back that all this wacky stuff would happen.
Right.
Um, but yeah, one season, 20 episodes, one unaired episode. Again, though, this is a show that I've not seen in years.
Right.
And if it's on YouTube, I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah.
And I had even forgotten about it. I met Jay Moore once. I helped him podcast once in a hotel
Oh.
room. Sounds really dirty now, but I forgot. If had I remember, I totally would have asked him about this though.
Yeah.
And one day I might be able to. I'll be like,
Maybe
so
the next time you see him, you can ask him about it.
yeah, like Camp Wilder. You remember that show? Like, and I'm sure he does. I'm sure it looked like they all had a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
but
It's crazy when you see these shows too, where there's so many people that end up being really famous later.
yeah,
But they all kind of at that point maybe weren't famous, but they were all just hanging out and doing
right,
a smaller project.
yeah,
That's really crazy to see that how they progress. I'm watching Alias right now. I just started watching the old because I love spy thriller
yep,
stuff like that. And I just can't. It's weird to see Bradley Cooper and obviously Sydney Bristow.
yeah. Jennifer Garner.
Garner, she's amazing. But like, there's a bunch of actors on there who are a lot younger. Some of them aren't as maybe famous yet, but
Yeah,
getting famous, I guess.
yep.
That show was actually pretty well known. So
Yeah, J.J. Abrams, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That you could see the talent.
Yes.
You could see the talent oozing through. That's cool.
Yeah, I really like that. She's so cool. Like she looks amazing in every single outfit too. I'm like, how can she look incredible in every disguise, you know? Like it's so neat to see like they did such a good job of changing her looks and stuff.
Yeah,
And the writing is so funny too. There's some really great scenes. So I'm enjoying that.
I think I remember. I remember talking to Kevin. I think they showed trailers for the show. The show hadn't aired yet. They showed trailers. I remember. He's like, I was like, well, what do you think of that? What do you think? He's like, this looks like that movie Run Lola Run, but in
Yeah.
TV form. But it turned out to be so much more. But
Right.
I
Because
remember him saying
that
that.
wig, the wig she had on was the same color or whatever as the
Yeah,
girlfriend.
yeah, yeah. They put that in the trailer, so I guess they were trying to get some of that Run Lola Run money. But um, I mean, I think Alias is more well known than Run Lola Run at
Oh
this
yeah.
point, and definitely rocketed Jennifer Garner to stardom. So
Oh, for sure. And she
yeah,
deserved it. She was incredible. I loved watching her. She was really funny.
yeah,
I love her.
that's awesome. I guess I could get that in like Disney Plus.
Okay, so in Canada, this is how I ended up getting a hold of all of these episodes is they just released on Disney, I think it is, the Star Network.
Okay,
Only in like some parts of Europe, Canada, Australia, and I don't know, like Japan and a couple places. But it's like the Star Network, and it has a bunch of like things from back in the day where you can get all the episodes. But I don't know if it's in America. I have mentioned it before on my Instagram, and
yeah,
some people don't get it.
I've not heard of this, but I'm gonna track down Alias for sure.
I do have the old DVDs, which makes me sound really old. I remember getting like the DVDs for it, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's nice to watch it on TV too.
Oh yeah, you could just you just pull up, just
Binge it.
binge it. Next
Yeah.
episode, next episode, next episode.
Yes. That's the way to do it. I don't ever watch commercials anymore either, which is a nice thing. I feel like I used to spend so many hours watching commercials, but now who has time for that when you're binging stuff
Oh
and
yeah,
to the next thing? And I don't know.
yeah, and I like skipping around too. I was like, all right, I feel like watching drama right now. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let's skip over to comedy. Then all right, I'm gonna go to old episodes of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like I can't. Yeah, maybe I have ADD. I can't stick to one thing sometimes. So
Well, there's lots of different genres they have available now too to be able to jump into. It's fun to be able to do that.
yeah.
Um, another series that I really enjoyed was called Lock and Key, and
Oh
that
yeah.
one is more like a mystery with a bunch of kids. They're like in a little town and they're trying to solve, a murder or something. And it's actually filmed another one that's filmed in Canada, so it's between Toronto and Nova Scotia, which I thought was really interesting. And it's based on the comic by Joe Hill and
Yeah.
Gabriel, I think Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another one that I really enjoyed, and I think has also been renewed for another season. It's coming up soon, or maybe two more seasons. I think.
Yeah. I think I think it might be two. That's awesome.
And for me, it was good because I am such a wuss. Like Ming, I can't even tell you. I can't watch like super super scary things because I can't sleep if I watch them before bed. I get too freaked out. So this was just the right amount of spookiness. Like it's like in a big haunted house.
Right. Right.
Like there's creaky floorboards and stuff. Like I can handle that.
All right, like no weird like Japanese horror for you, like Audition or
Yeah, yeah. I can't
or
go there.
no Dario Argento movies for you, Suspiria. And okay, I get it. I'm a wuss too. I'm not a big. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like my head messed with that much. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, too
Yeah. The,
crazy.
the ones where they get into your head or it's about super psycho killers or something, I can't do that. But
Yeah.
this one had a good amount of suspense and mystery, and I really enjoyed it too. So that was another one I'm kind of looking forward to the next season of for Lock and Key.
Yeah.
On Netflix, I think. Yeah.
All right. I'm in. I'm watching everything off your list for sure.
Oh, cool. We'll make lists and then see if we can convince other people to get in on it. And
Oh, I think we can. We're purveyors of cool, my friend.
yeah,
We're influencers, my friend.
that's right.
That's awesome. We'll have fun tomorrow. I think. Did you say you're going to be hitting the slopes tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm taking my kids snowboarding. So
So cool.
they've been begging me, so I'm going to do that. Hopefully, I don't break any legs.
All right, so you snowboard as well.
Well, I'm not sure yet. They're going for sure. I've been once before. I can do it, but I'm not good. Not good. Like I'll spend most of the time on my butt probably. So
Just had to stop at I can do it, and that's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe I'll just do it. Just I'll be there in the moment and just try it out. So
that's
it'll be
amazing.
fun.
Cool.
I'll
I'm
send
gonna
a picture
crush this
of you.
pizza. Then I got 2 podcasts tonight.
Oh gosh, you're so busy. You're
Eh,
always walking around.
it's fun. I love it.
Amazing.
I love it. I just gotta remember to eat.
Yes, eat that pizza. That looks good.
Oh yeah, I will for sure. But thank you
Eat
for
one.
jumping on with me. I love your announcements. Each one is bigger than the next.
Ooh,
And with any luck, I haven't gotten my shot yet, but with any luck, I get that shot soon, and we'll be Comic-Conning soon.
oh, I hope
Look
so.
out, everybody!
Yeah.
You're not ready. I hope we get to do a panel together.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I would love that.
I
I
think
miss
we
going to con so much. I can't wait till everything opens up again and is
yeah,
safe.
we can make it happen. I think I think you pretty much have an open door to any convention you want to go to from now on.
Well, we'll see. We'll
I
see.
have a I think I have a good feeling.
I think that you can arrange miracles. So
Well, I mean, I know a couple people, but I think I don't have the talent that you do. So
yes, you do. Don't be silly.
ah,
You're incredible.
I
But
was
when we get together, I think it will be a fun time at a convention, and I'd love to do a panel together. That would be amazing.
oh man,
Um,
it's this will happen because we put it out into the world
yeah,
for
we're gonna
sure.
send the vibes out and see what happens.
Awesome, thank you. Got anything else you want to?
No, I think that's it for now. I mean, I mentioned Heavy Metal is out at issue
Yeah,
304. So if anybody wants to look for my next sign up story, that's where it is.
yeah,
And
get it newsstand, order it online,
yeah,
wherever you get your finer copies of heavy metal.
exactly.
And
And also you can find Omega Artifact on Amazon. And then
yeah,
I have some more announcements coming up shortly.
awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. And then stay tuned for us. We kind of do this randomly when we
Yeah.
have
We
them,
do this randomly. So
but
we'll,
when we do, it's amazing. So
it's so
great.
much fun.
So
So much fun, Ming.
cool. Thank you. Well, stay warm up there up north, and have fun tomorrow.
I will. I'll send a picture of
I
me
can't
on the
wait.
slopes and show you what's going on.
Amazing. Awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Have a good night.